Hi, I'm Bob Martin. Welcome to another Dreams from the Presidio Theatre. This is a very special talk with a very special person. Jeff Gregory, who is the technical director of the Presidio Theatre, has worked in the Bay Area in so many capacities over the years. I'm going to call him a Renaissance man. He is a musician. I'd call him a philosopher. He understands people and the arts and the world of technical theater as well as anybody that I've ever known, beside being a wonderful person. And so I'm so happy that he's here to talk to us. And I'm going to ask you, Jeff, you know what we've been talking about. Have you had some dreams during this period that we've been going through? Do you have your own personal dreams about what you think on the other side of this, the world is going to look like?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for the marvelous introduction. That's quite nice. I did have a dream very recently, and it was in this theater. And the dream was that we had something in here when we reopened, maybe who knows how long that, that would be, where we had a sold out house, an absolute standing room only. People were lined along the walls on each side. And so I was encouraged by that dream. So I hope, the sooner we can get there, the better. In the meantime, we're doing things like this and hoping to get more interviews out of artists. And I think it'd be good to, get some of the technical people in here too. There's a lot of talent on the technical level as well. And so delighted to have so many great people here in San Francisco.
And in a way, these talks, I think, allow us to bring things up we usually don't talk about, is what really makes a show happen are people like you, the people behind the scenes that are getting the show up, that are working with the lights, that are working with the sound. I mean, I would say truly the unsung heroes of what goes into the performing arts, and a part that most people don't see because it's behind the scenes. You're doing your work during the show. Tell me, for you, and this is not as much I think a dream, but an aspiration about the kind of work that you and other people do, of how people can both understand more and appreciate how integral it is to what goes on in a theater and what goes on in any performance.
Well, interestingly, I feel like I'm paying my penance here because I was a musical theater kid, doing everything from Wizard of Oz to Finian's Rainbow to Gypsy to Sound of Music. And I was one of these performers who thought that, thought those very hardworking technical people all around were something like maintenance people. I had no idea what a dear craft, this is, and how long it takes to develop all these skills. And interestingly, younger days, I excelled in music and drama and science. And now this is something that incorporates all three of those things. And I think, it's interesting, even as a participant watching a show load in, you're watching people work really, really hard, but you don't really, I think, get the sense of how hard they're working until you're down there working with your hands yourself. And I think that for me, getting to the technical side of things gave me much more of a visceral sense of the world and how to understand, physics, science. And also dealing with people to let them know that we're all in this together. This is not, you and us. This is all we're all working to make this as really good as we can. That's what resonates with me, and I think what should resonate with all performers and all technicians too. Yeah. I think at the end of one of the children's theater shows, it's like one of the performers said, "Geez, we couldn't have done it without you." And it's like, well, we couldn't have done it without you either.
Jeff, you've worked in so many spaces in this town and I'm sure all over the country. And as you and I know, and hopefully many people know, and if they don't, Peggy Haas, the wonderful Peggy Haas, was the visionary behind the Presidio Theatre. She is the person that saw that here was a theater that had been built in 1939, and then in around 1995, it just sat here. after the Presidio Trust took over from the military. And now we had a grand opening in September, which was wonderful. We were doing programming up until March. And now, of course, we've had to be closed because of the pandemic. So the question I have for you is, what is the soul of this theater? What is the soul of a theater and a performing space itself? Does it have a soul?
Well, of course it does. And I think this is the Lazarus rising out and reviving again. Peggy Haas did have a great vision here, and it happened when I think she was, a very young woman or a child who came to this theater to see, I believe it was Hal Holbrook, and she said that ever since she came here and participated in that performance or experienced it, that she always had a dream about reviving this theater with a lot of push and hard work and a lot of negotiating that went on. So the soul of this theater, is being revived from the old military, theater, where every once in a while there was a live performance. Hal Holbrook, Bob Hope, Jack Benny performed here. And it's interesting, our production manager, Patty Ann Farrell, said in a meeting one time, it's like, it's going to take time, but we have to marry the theater. And I think that's true. And I think it's true with anything where the theater or the performance within a theater, you're marrying the experience. And so each time you do another production, it's like, oh, we learned some new things here. And there's the theater, it has a give and take of a soul, and it's wonderful and marvelous to feel is growing. And it's interesting that we were just getting really fired up and running, opening in September, and now that we've had to have this pause here. It's what is it? It's a time where we look at the theater looks at us, and we learn more about it, and we become part of the soul of the theater, as did the people who originally built this in '39, as did everyone in the construction team from plant, marvelous people, and everybody who put so much energy into making this happen. Hornberger, beautiful architectural design. It's a privilege to be here and help manifest, bring the soul out and up again. And so we have many more beautiful dreams here to experience, I think. And so we're looking at ways to still get this out to people, even in a smaller capacity house. We have a large house here, but we're looking for ways to do that. And we're looking for ways to also either do some live streaming or do some recording and be able to bring what we're able to bring to you right now.
I could not agree with you more. And I have to tell you that you, to me, are a big part of the soul of San Francisco and the soul of the Bay Area arts community. And before this pandemic, during this pandemic, after this pandemic, as far as I'm concerned, you're one of the key people that makes the arts, the performing arts, be able to happen and be able to be what it means to the Bay Area. And I want to personally thank you for everything that you've done.
Well, very much appreciated. And it's a level of mutual respect too, Bob, because I'm so glad that we've lured you back into San Francisco from New Mexico. And, we worked together years and years ago at the Cowell Theater, and I'm just delighted that, it's the right mix of people on this project, and it's great. And we have a lot of fun.
We do.
That's important.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you so much.
See you soon.